Hey everybody and welcome back. I had the privilege to play a couple games on the same night and record them, so this is the second of those three. Our heroes this evening are Zedruu, played by me, Surrak, played by Jeff, and Child of Alara, played by Matt. I keep a super sketchy hand with 1 planes, Tithe, Guile, Replenish, Idyllic Tutor, Dictative Crewfix, and Cyclonic Rift. Jeff, having learned his lesson in our first game, keeps a very land-heavy hand. His opening hand consists of a mountain, stomping ground, temple of mystery, rootbound crag, an island, prognostic sphinx, and Garruk's pack leader. Matt, playing his Child of Alara deck, keeps a more modest hand with a mountain, steam vents, strip mine, ad nauseum, burgeoning, Sensei's divining top, and toxic deluge. Jeff wins the die roll and decides to start first. Setting the pace for the game, Surrak plays a stomping ground tapped and passes his turn. Child, looking to smooth out his top decks, plays a mountain followed by a Sensei's divining top. My first turn is fairly simple. I draw a card and play a plains. For his turn, Surrak plays a Hinterland Harbor and passes. At the end of turn, I use Tithe to search for 2 plains cards and put them to my hand. On his upkeep, Child activates Sensei's divining top to see what he's about to draw. For his turn, he plays a Windswept Heath and immediately cracks it to find Bayou, taking 1 damage. He follows that up by playing Burgeoning. On my turn, I play Tundra, to which Child responds by playing Steam Vents before casting Greater Oromancy. Surrak plays Temple of Mystery on his turn, which allows Child to drop Strip Mine. Child also activates Top at the end of turn to see what he's about to draw. During his first main phase, Child casts Ranger's Path, searching for 2 forest-type land cards. He finds Overgrown Tomb and Breeding Pool. I decide to deal some damage to myself and take 2 by playing Hallowed Fountain untapped. Surrak hits his land drop for the turn playing Rootbound Crag and passes turn. On his upkeep, Child activates Top before casting Seedborn Muse in his first main phase. At the end of his turn, I flash in Dictative Crewfix to get myself some sweet card draw. On my turn, I play Cascade Bluffs before deciding to make myself a huge target by casting Humility. On his turn, Surrak plays a Forest and then taps out to play Garruk's Pack Leader, which at this point is just a 1/1 that does nothing. At the end of Surrak's turn, Child resolves an Ad Nauseum, hitting Amulet of Vigor, Propaganda, Lonely Sandbar, Sylvan Scrying, Sun Titan, and All Is Dust for a total of 19 damage. For his main phase, Child plays Amulet of Vigor before playing Lonely Sandbar untapped. He then swings with the Seedborn Muse, who is a 1/1. For my turn, I play a Tap Sacred Foundry, follow that up with an Idyllic Tutor to go find Assemble the Legion. On Surrak's turn, he drops an island, casts Soul Ring, then follows that up with a Quicksilver Amulet, which I let resolve. Let's face it, I don't care how many fatties he cheats out, they're 1/1s. Child goes immediately to combat and swings at me for 1. Realizing the issue that Humility will present in the future, he follows that up with All Is Dust. On my turn, I play Mystic Monastery, and then follow that up by casting Zedruu. For his turn, Surrak plays a mountain, then immediately taps 5 mana to cast Prognostic Sphinx. On Child's turn, he plays Scrubland, and then immediately taps 5 mana to cast Titania. He returns Windswept Heath, and then immediately cracks it, gaining a 5/3 elemental and searching for a land. He ends his turn by casting Zurin Orb, which is incredible in tandem with Titania. I untap, draw for turn, choose not to do anything, and instead pass my turn, discarding Form of the Dragon to my graveyard. At the end of my turn, Surrak cheats in with Quicksilver Amulet, Colossus of Akros. For his land, Surrak plays Thornwood Falls, gaining 1 life, and then immediately attacks me with Prognostic Sphinx. I lose 3 life, and he gets to scry 3 cards, which isn't really a bad deal for him. Child activates Top at the end of Surrak's turn to see the top 3 cards of his library. Tapping out completely, Child of Alara casts Animist Awakening for 8 mana. I take this opportunity to try and ramp a little bit and cast Twin Cast in response. With Spell Mastery active, I get to get 3 lands untapped onto the field. Child, however, doesn't fare so well and completely whiffs. As punishment for my luck, I take 10 to the face from Titania and her elemental friend. This drops me to 23. At the end of his turn, I activate Zedruu's ability and donate Mystic Monastery to Surrak. This means on my turn I gain a life and an extra card. During my main phase, I decided to put out a huge attack deterrent by casting Academy Rector. Not wanting her to be alone, I decided to cast Clever Impersonator, copying Academy Rector. At the end of my turn, Surrak decides to flash in his general. During his first main phase, Surrak plays a Forest, and then makes the Colossus monstrous. Moving to the combat step, Surrak sends the Colossus towards Child and the Prognostic Sphinx towards me. Not wanting to die, Child of Alara sacks all 9 of his lands, gaining 18 life and 9 5/3 elementals. Not wanting to waste the elementals as a chump blocker, Child takes the full 20 damage and drops down to 17, whereas I just take 3 and drop to 21. Payback comes swiftly as Child swings all of his creatures at Surrak, killing him. For my turn, I untap, draw, and immediately cast Jace the Mind Sculptor, using his 0 ability to brainstorm. Thankfully, Jace's digging 3 deep allows me to find a game-winning card in the form of Detention Sphere. Knowing when he's beat as his elementals are exiled, Child scoops up his cards and makes me the winner of Game 2. Looking back, the early humility really slowed us down and allowed me to control and draw a few more cards that I needed to win the game. It puts a huge target on you, but that's alright as long as you're able to survive for a few turns and reap the benefits. Child had an incredibly explosive start with an early turn burgeoning allowing him to ramp. Unfortunately, the Animist's Awakening for 8 where he hit 0 land was a massive stall for him. Surrak played pretty conservatively and became a real threat late game. All in all, it was a pretty fun game compared to the first match. We got to do some silly things, cast some big spells, and get some huge creatures. What more can you ask for in EDH? Anyway gang, that's my video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my videos to keep up to date.